Hello and welcome to Week in Review, episode number 113. My name is Sean, and on this week's show, we're talking about the game that is currently on your screen, Animal Crossing. We'll also look forward to this week's new releases, and I'll tell you about the streams happening over on twitch.tv/SeanSourceRex. Hello and welcome to Dynamite Island. This is my island in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and this is the game that we are talking about on this week's show. Animal Crossing is a game that's working a lot better for me than I thought it would, and it boils down to its cohesiveness. I like that there are super overarching goals, there are smaller big goals that you can accomplish, and there are things that you can do to earn Nook Miles that all fit really well together and help keep me engaged in a game style that typically doesn't work for me, because anytime you put me in like a kind of just do whatever you want, feel the flow or whatever, like whether it's something open-ended like Minecraft or something like that, like a 7 Days to Die, that's just go anywhere, do anything, I get overwhelmed, I get lost, and I lose interest really quickly. But Animal Crossing doesn't do that. It has a bunch of different goals. Currently, my biggest goal is to pay Tom Nook, who is a crook, 198,000 bells, and that is a lot of bells. You can do that in a variety of ways. You can go over here and you can fish. Let's see. Oh, here we have a fish right here. Hang on. Let's do a fishing rod. Hold that. See if we can catch this fish. You can fish or you can garden. It just depends on what you want to do. I missed. That's good. Excellent video footage here for the review. That's too far. Oh, it's hot, but it's right behind that tree. Okay, here we go. So you can fish to earn bells. You can garden, or you can grow fruit and crops and do that sort of thing. So that's currently the biggest goal I'm working towards. The second biggest goal I'm working towards right now is creating 3 houses, 3 plots of land. You can see down in the bottom right corner, there's 3 little squares that aren't filled in, 3 orange squares. And what I need to do is I need to come over here and I need to work on these getaway packages. So this construction box tells you what you need to do. So you need to submit interior and exterior items. So I need to build cherry speakers, a cherry lamp, a pot, and then some stuff on, yeah, I'm aware that I don't have anything to turn in. Thank you, game. And then I need to put a stone stool, stone table, and a clothesline outside to complete this house, and that'll bring new residents in. What I like is that these are like individual quests in and of themselves. So I don't have anything to actually donate right now. So if you go in here, you can go to your DIY recipes, and you can see exactly what you need. So basically, the game gives you this big goal. You need to create 3 things. Then it's given me 6 individual items that I need to do. So we'll look at the clothesline really quick. I need to pick up 10 tree branches. So that is goal number 1 of goal number 6 of goal number 1 of 3 to complete this kind of overarching thing. So basically what I'm going to end up doing is walking around the world, picking up tree branches, and making sure that I can build this sort of thing. They also wanted this stone table, which requires 8 stone. Now, I don't think I have very many rocks on my island. I have one right over here, so we'll go ahead and axe that really quick, and we'll see what we get. So this rock only gave me 1 stone, and it won't give any other sort of materials for another day or 2. So basically what I have to do is go find more stone. And you can do that by traveling to different islands, which is actually one of my favorite parts of the game. Is I think the thing I actually like the most of it. Is you go over here and then you go to this little hospitality thing, whatever it's called. So when you go in here, you can use this little multimedia stop here. We'll get through this text real quick. And then you can redeem Nook Miles. Now, fortunately, I have enough to redeem a Nook Miles ticket, which will take you off island to hopefully find more materials and resources, or different types of trees that you can plant so you can grow different types of fruit and sell it to get money to pay the bells back, or, you know, like the materials like stone and stuff like that to build the tables and chairs and all that sort of stuff. Now, the thing is, you don't always have 7,930 Nook Miles, and that's where the Nook Miles Plus stuff comes in. So you can go up here, as soon as I can exit out of this, you can go up here to the Nook Miles Plus thing, and up at the top they have 5 different things that you can do. This is super helpful for me, personally, to keep my interest in this game going. I talked about how it's like one goal feeds into a 1/6 of a goal that feeds into a 1/3 of a goal that feeds into a big overarching goal, while there's the other 198,000 currently that I owe Tom Nook. This stuff helps with the miles to help with getting more materials. So if I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I don't know what to do to earn Nook Miles, or I don't know what to do to try and earn money, these 5 things can really help keep me focused on this sort of thing. So I can go outside and I can chop 10 wood, and that'll give me 150 Nook miles. As soon as that one disappears, another one pops up. The only criticism of it is these are very repetitive. Like, you'll chop 10 wood and then you'll get something else that's like take a photo, or you sell these shells and then you'll get something else, and it's not very long before these repeat themselves. So like another 3 will go by and then you'll be like, oh, I just sold 10 shells, or sell clumps of weeds, whatever. They can be a little bit repetitive, but that's fine, because it keeps me engaged with what's going on. All of those tasks and making all the money and doing the Nook miles doesn't even account for the other portion of the game, which is the Critterpedia / museum collection. Here you have a selection of fish and insects that you can collect throughout the year, and it literally is a year. This game runs on an active 24-hour clock that reflects your time that you're playing. So currently it's like a little after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's kind of a sunset sort of thing. So while I'm seeing that here in real life, I'm also seeing that in the game. And the honeybee is only available for a specific time during the day, and only available during a few months throughout the year, which is really cool. So you have until July to get a honeybee, or you're out of luck until literally March of 2021. It's a really cool system. I like it a lot. And you can sell this stuff for money, or you can donate it over here at the museum, which I'll look at here in just a second. I'm not going to go in because it just got built, which means that if I go in there, there's probably going to be a lot of talking that I don't want to skip through while I'm recording this video. But it's really cool. It's run by Blathers, who's a great character. He doesn't like bugs or butterflies, so I relate to him a lot because butterflies are terrifying. But this 24-hour clock is really neat. It allows you to have tons of time to get stuff done, but it also lets you feel like you're not falling behind. Like, if you work all day, you still have an opportunity to catch up to your friends that are playing, and it doesn't feel like somebody's going to play for 16 hours, be done with the game, and then you're kind of out of the loop. And you go up to people and you're like, oh, I just got this cool thing. I just got this little vaulting pole. And they're like, I got that like 3 days ago. I don't care. I moved on from Animal Crossing. It feels like everybody's in the loop and everybody's having a lot of fun, which has been part of the game experience that's been the most awesome. Is getting in on this on the ground floor has been cool. It's been fun to share information or to watch streams of it, watch people discover new things, and then have you go like, how did they get that? I want to do that as well. The early portion of this game is very tutorial heavy, and sometimes it doesn't explain stuff enough. The first night I played, I ended up in a spot where I was like, man, I don't know if I'm making progress enough here. I think I'm just going to cut the stream. And then I played Friday morning and I was like, oh shoot, I was like 2 away from completing whatever I needed to complete to progress the game. So sometimes it's not as clear as it should be. Like, for example, if you go over here and you push on this with the A button, these cherries fall out of the tree. And I was trying to figure out how to get these flowers over here, these like tulips and roses and stuff. I was trying to figure out how to just get them without putting them in a pot. So basically what I kept doing was I kept taking out my shovel and I was like, oh, well, I'll dig these up and these will be fine to use. But if you go into your inventory, you can't do anything with them because it's a red rose plant, and it's not just a red rose. To me, the language dictated that if you push A on something that has a stem or a tree, something like that, that item will pop onto the ground, which then you push Y to pick it up. That's not actually the case, and I found it out totally accidentally that you just push Y on the plants to pick up what you need to pick up. It doesn't explain everything, and sometimes you have to look up information, but again, that's been part of the fun of this game. In addition to some of the tutorials not being super clear, sometimes it can feel like the 24 hours is actually a little bit of a hindrance, because on the second day I was playing, I actually ended up completing all of my tasks, both the money I owed to Tom Nook, the stuff for the museum, because you have to donate a certain amount of items before you get this, and I gave Timmy and Tommy, the owners of this establishment over here, I had given them everything that they needed, so I was kind of at a loss for something to do. And while the Nook Miles did keep me interested in the game just because I liked playing it, and I went to different islands and was able to make money in different ways. It did at times feel like I was kind of aimlessly wandering around. I still really enjoy the game. I'm having a total blast with it. Even with all that aimless wandering, I'm still really enjoying the game. If you're curious as to why there's been so much gameplay during this and why I only have one thing that I'm talking about in this episode, it's because this game has completely taken over this apartment. It is on every monitor that it can be on. Even when we're playing the game, the TV is playing streams of the game while we're playing the game, which is really awesome because we get to discover things with them. This has been a tremendously fun game to watch and enjoy with other people. And it's also a game that really works well with that sort of thing. You don't have to pay 100% attention to it all the time. There's nothing on the island that's really out to hurt you. There's tarantulas and bees every once in a while, but you have to get within a pretty good distance of the tarantula before it starts springing on you, and you have to shake the tree to get the bumblebees out. So, like, you could just leave it sitting on a bench and you're totally fine. You watch like a little something, you put it down, you go eat something, or you just wander around and make a review of a game that you're really enjoying. So far, the game's been really good about giving me new tasks to do each and every day and giving me big, long tasks to keep myself busy. There's a lot of ways to get around not having the materials. You can get the Nook Miles to get plane tickets to other islands to pick up stuff that way. It's a thing that it goes back to the word cohesive. I like the way that it all builds on each other. Get Nook Miles to go to a different island, to get materials, to build the thing, to complete 1/6 of 1/3 of this one thing, or just sell it for money so you can pay back Tom Nook, or Tom Crook as everyone calls him, because he is a crook. It's just the way everything works and meshes and fits together is really great. The game is beautiful. It's really cute and colorful. You can bring new people to your island. All kinds of animals can come over and be your friend. It's a really good, calm, relaxing time that melts the hours away in the best possible way, where you do 1 or 2 or 3 separate things. All of a sudden you look up, it's been like an hour and a half, and you're like, oh man, I have barely put a dent in this task, but I've been having a really great time doing it. I'm really glad that I picked it up, and I'm glad that I'm having such a good time with it. And I'm also really glad that I got on the ground floor of this game, and I'm just having such a whirlwind of a time with it. Look at me carrying my little ladder here with my green glasses and my pink shirt. It's great. I'm loving it. I can't wait to play more of it. I think it's a game that's well worth your time and money for your Nintendo Switch. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to sit on my tire and enjoy my flowers and my grill. Also, shout out to my flamingo. Finally, on this week's show, we'll take a look at what's new. There's nothing in theaters, obviously. On Blu-ray is 1917, which, while it wasn't a movie that I was particularly fond of, I note it because there are 2 separate commentaries, one from director Sam Mendes and the other from the cinematographer, Roger Deakins. This is a movie that I would rewatch with those commentaries because I think would be interesting to learn how they made that movie. If you watch the show, you know that my review was pretty much, it's a one-shot, one-trick pony. There's not a whole lot else about it that I found to be particularly interesting, but that's out. And they've also pulled a bunch of movies out of theaters, and they're on digital, so stuff like Onward, Just Mercy, Birds of Prey. There was one more that I was going to mention, but I'm forgetting what it was off the top of my head. But all of those are out and available to check out. And then there's only one game out this week. It's called Bears Can't Drift, which apparently is a game that hit 4 years ago on the PlayStation 4, but is now available for the Xbox One. As for the streams happening over on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex, March Mascot Madness continues on Friday with the Sweet 16. That'll be about 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And then Saturday is going to be a split stream of Doom Eternal and the rest of March Mascot Madness. So that'll cover the Elite 8, the Final 4, the 3rd place game, and the championship match itself. Sunday will be more Doom Eternal, and then Monday will be Doom Eternal if it's still not done yet, or question mark, because I don't really know. One of the playthroughs I saw for Doom Eternal lasted about 10 hours, but a review I read said it ran them about 15, so I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take me to get through it. So that Monday slot is open in case I need it. Otherwise, it will be something presumably pretty random. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Week in Review. If you like the content, you can scroll on down and you can hit that subscribe button. You can scroll on down a little bit lower and leave me a comment. You can tell me what you thought of Animal Crossing New Horizons. You can also tell me if you've played Doom and what you thought of that. That'll be on next week's show. Be sure to head on over to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex and watch the streams over there. Or stick around on YouTube and watch some previous streams. And then check back every Tuesday for more Week in Review right here. We'll see you next week. I waved, but you can't see me.